Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Gimme That Take, the fastest growing live golf podcast of 2023. Stick around for more takes like this.
So this is an opportunity for people that do like golf to give a little background and hopefully entice more people to watch and pay attention to Papa Golf Alpha.
Well, I'm going to say from the first episode, the only thing that they may have possibly been able to pull out of that is like, oh, Jordan Spieth and Justin Thomas are good looking guys. I can watch this with my wife because they can check them out while they're
They
hanging
definitely
out.
share a bit on
They're
those
good looking
playing
guys
rounds.
until those guys take their shirts off and you're like, ugh. And watching
Not
them,
what I expected.
kept going, showing them in the gym.
Why does Jordan Spieth have three nipples?
Like fucking four. There's four or five episodes of just like these PGA professionals struggling in the gym, and I'm like, oh.
And we are back with another episode of Gimme That Take. Before we give you a little quick rundown, I just want to say thank you all so much for following us on our socials. Our TikTok has been blowing up as of late. We posted Jerome's swing up on there. Y'all tore him apart, rightfully so. So much fun. So we love interacting with you guys and gals. So please, and Jerome says this every single episode, if you're thinking about subscribing or you're thinking about following, just do it. Only takes a second. Anyway, on this week's episode, y'all have seen it. Everyone's talking about it. We decided to do it. Even though it puts Live in a negative light, we took on Netflix's Full Swing, this golf drama-mentary, I don't even know if that's a word, documentary / drama about the 2022 golf season. Gave our opinions on how these players were portrayed, if we were really into it. Got into a lot of deeper conversations about Live, Papa Golf Alpha, the media, legacy, golf tradition. It's a little bit on the heavier side, but good conversations. We don't always all agree with everything. So it's nice every once in a while to listen to each other's thoughts and views on things and, respect it if it's respectable, and then give your respected disagreement to that. So hope you enjoy the show.
Say something.
Kai says he's ready, hasn't even looked at the show sheet. We have, look at it, he signed out immediately as soon as I hit record, which is amazing. Anyway, yeah,
man.
he's a nightmare.
It's a good thing he knows about golf.
Barely. All right, you watch Full Swing?
I watched the whole series. Yes.
Damn. The entire thing?
Yeah. That's the nice thing about it being slow. I just I throw an earbud in and I watch it on my iPad and make phone calls and stuff. So
yeah, I mean, some of us might have done like CPR and probably shouldn't stop to watch Brooks and Dustin on Netflix, but
I mean, you don't need to watch the whole thing. You can just listen to it while you're doing other things. You can listen and do CPR. Maybe.
I don't know. Never tried.
I mean, was the patient white? Because if they were, then who cares?
Right. I'm half through, so that's
doing
where I'm
CPR or the show.
Half through the show, Full Swing on Netflix. I got a million rants here, but let's just start with Brooks Koepka is not leaving Live Golf, so they can just.
Well, he has nowhere to go.
Yeah, he can't actually.
I don't think Monahan would take him back that easily anyway.
Well, he's suspended anyway, so once he plays Mayakoba, then
if he decided to go back, he's not going to just let him slide back in. There'd be some long drawn out bullshit anyway. So, but it won't happen. I don't think he's going anywhere. He's got his game back. He's going to dominate Live then. Fine.
I mean, all right, we'll start here. I am rooting so hard for him to come out in Mexico and win. How awesome would that be?
It'd be
Right
amazing.
off of this full swing nonsense, that would be amazing. For him, for fans, it would be awesome.
Let's just be very clear about something. Full swing is a very clever tactic for the PGA.
Papa Golf Alpha.
For Papa Golf Alpha to make, show the storyline the way they want it to be seen. I mean, it's very pro Papa Golf Alpha. It is very pro them and what their view is, and they cut and made the scenes look like what they wanted.
They did things to fire people up too. Did you see the locker room scene with Rory when they were all getting rubbed down? Which is
and then
did you see
he calls
and he says
he
calls out Phil Mickelson and he goes, "I hope that makes it in." And the producer of the Netflix show says, "Oh, it'll be in." It's just to fire people up. That's all.
And they only showed They only showed like the press conferences for Live, and they only showed the journalists asking the questions about the Saudi, all the bullshit surrounding the Saudi government and the atrocities and stuff like that. A lot of other questions were asked. They only showed those questions. That they are pushing the narrative that they want seen. And the fact of the matter is the PGA was started by a bunch of rich white racists, and it wasn't even until the 1990s they wouldn't even let Tiger change in the clubhouse in Augusta.
Right.
And you see Rory sitting there, fucking white as could fucking be, being all like, "Oh, it's about tradition." Listen, when a fucking ghost white person, as a white person, I can say this, thankfully. Like, as a white person, when I hear white people start talking about tradition and you got to keep tradition, listen, what tradition are you talking about? What are you talking about? Are you talking about all of the horrible history and the people that have died and lives broken over racism and everything like that? Is that what you want to talk about?
I don't know how we don't have a million likes on that first video with Aaron explaining the opening scene there about where else Saudi money is, of stuff that we deal with every single day. I mean, that just sums it up. It's not talked about enough. But when you really take it in consideration, everything you do in life has something connected to an investment or Saudi-backed money. It's crazy.
I can't believe it's taken us 5 episodes to attack the whitewashing coverage of Papa Golf Alpha. Who do you think? Well, first, number one, who do you think the people are standing behind the cameras? White people. Who do you think the people are who ask those questions of the live golfers? White people. And also, these people have made, for the last 35 years or however long it's been televised, almost every single event, probably 35 years or so. These guys have made their entire livings licking Papa Golf Alpha's asshole. And what are they going to do when they finally get a chance to look cool and get a Netflix show? Do you think that they're going to take the other side? No, there was a 0% chance that this was going to be a fair portrayal of any of those guys on the other on our side. I'll say it. I mean, on the side of fun, on the side of let's change golf up and make it a team sport, on the side of golf isn't just an American sport. It's a worldwide sport. Let's have an actual world tour, not just a bunch of Americans.
Never an American sport. It didn't even fucking originate here. And why is it that the PGA, is like, oh, well, we know what's best for golf. No. There's a reason why other leagues exist for all other professional sports.
People harp on the Saudi thing, though. You have to. If it was backed by anybody else, I feel like you'd have an easier split between PGA Tour fans and live fans, and it would become more of a thing. But it's because people harp on, hey, it's backed by them, the atrocities that come along with it. That's why we don't want to watch it. But PGA Papa Golf Alpha made that narrative, right? They pushed that.
Oh, of
that
course
was
they-
the
of
biggest
course they
thing.
did.
Boom, boom, boom.
That's the reason
And
they're
that's
doing
what's
that.
drawn
before.
everything away from it.
But the fact of the matter is, the PGA, God, Papa Golf Alpha is a business that had investors, and the people that invested in the PGA and made millions on the PGA were all members of these rich, racist country clubs. I mean, that's who set the PGA up. That's who set them up is these rich, racist golf clubs. And anytime I've only had the pleasure of having this conversation in person with a couple people, but they brought up Saudi, and I'm like, what about all the racism and all the hate and all the things they did up until the 90s?
Mhm.
What about that?
Yeah,
How
what
many
about that?
things, like you said earlier, Tiger endured with Fuzzy
And,
Zeller,
you know,
the
you-
watermelon fried chicken comments in the Masters dinner. Like, it's always been there. And that was only in 1997.
Papa Golf
98
Alpha
even.
has no right to lecture anyone on human rights violations and atrocities.
Yeah.
They have absolutely no right. There's no leg to stand on.
but here's the thing.
We have to talk about one other thing when you're done.
Yeah, but here's the thing, though, with that. They're protected by their own media. The golf media is not a worldwide golf media. They didn't last year. All these golf guys came out of nowhere and decided they were going to cover the Live Tour. The guys who are covering Live are the guys who have been covering PGA because it's been the only business in town. Nobody cares about the European tour. Nobody cares about the Asian tour. Nobody cares about these other professional tours. No one. You never hear about them ever, 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 ever. And now that there's some competition, the people covering the competition are the same people who have been telling you how great PGA is for the last 35 years. What else are they going to say? And here we are. I want to pat ourselves on the back, but here we are to give an opinion about these two tours that is not rooted in 35 years of making somebody look good. It's not.
Right.
Anyway, Mac, go ahead. What else we need?
Just a side note. Have you watched any of the Papa Golf Alpha Genesis Invitational this week?
I haven't watched one single second of it.
Okay.
No.
As a golf fan, right? I still dabble, mostly because of
Hey man, good golf is good
betting
golf.
and
You want to
money.
watch
Yeah,
good
You're,
golf?
you're,
You want to
you're a
bet? Do it.
gambler. You're a gambler. You can't help
right.
yourself.
That's the
We get
gambling
it.
part of this channel. But anyway, so did you see any of this stuff in the news? It makes me die laughing. It's ridiculous the world we live in now.
Are we doing the tampon thing?
Did you see it? Jerome, did you see it?
Of course I saw it.
Okay. How ridiculous.
Okay. You know,
Anyone of the people I know that I golf with would do worse than that. We all
Here it
bust
is.
each other's balls constantly on the golf course.
here's the
Tiger
real
and
crux
JT are
of it.
friends. I can't even believe we're talking about it, but I had to bring it up. I think it's absolutely mind-boggling
But here's the
that
thing.
that's an improp. And he apologized.
Here's the thing,
Ugh,
Jay, that's really
gross.
important to remember. 20 years ago, maybe even 10 years ago, we wouldn't even be able to talk about this. Do you know why? Because of the progression of technology, we have cameras and are able to take
That zoom
photos
into a small
that are able to
Tampax.
zoom in. Nobody had a straight up shot. He didn't make it obvious. He wasn't standing there tying his shoes, and when he stood up,
it was
Tiger
a little
threw a tampon
handoff.
at his feet, and here you go, you fucking piece of shit.
I
Fuck
know.
you, and spit on him. Like, no,
Yep.
he handed it to him discreetly, and we wouldn't have even known it if it wasn't for the modern technology. Okay,
Yep.
like, listen, competitive guys are going to be competitive guys. If you don't like it, fucking watch somebody else. I bet if people were mic'd up on the NFL, every single player was mic'd up, and you could hear every single little thing they said, people would be all up in arms, especially the gay community.
But
Would be
it's the
all
fact
up in
that
arms
people
with the
are,
amount of F words,
which makes it
not fuck, but faggot being used on an NFL field. Like, no, but they don't do it so that we don't hear it. It's the same thing. Like he was trying to be discreet about it, and next time he'll make sure to just do it in the clubhouse where nobody can see him.
Thank you. And we're this. I mean, we don't have to agree on everything. I couldn't be more in disagreement with both of you, which is crazy. On 2 points. One, Tiger knew that there were cameras everywhere. He's Tiger fucking Woods at the Genesis.
Who
If he
cares?
if he didn't
Who
think,
cares?
but if he didn't think it through, then fucking shame on him, because he's got more people. His people have people. And all he had to do was say, "I'm throwing some
It was
tampons in my bag."
hilarious.
I'm
Who
not funny
cares?
or not. He should have thought that through. Second, if we're gonna talk about how fucking shitty racist golf is, how about how shitty sexist golf is? That's true. I'm telling you, from ladies' tees to making them wear skirts to sexualizing female golfers, that's fucked up, man. So,
Especially because most of them are not attractive.
well, yeah, I mean,
I don't think they have to wear skirts.
no,
I think they have to wear a golf apparel, which could be many different things. But okay,
Fine.
I don't
And
know.
we got to see that side of it, though. You have, and if you're Tiger fucking Woods at your own event, and you don't think that, I mean, first of all, again, this takes me back to every moment that ever happened ever. He knew what the backlash was going to be. These are calculated things. There's a 0% chance we talk about the Genesis Invitational and Tiger, whether I don't even know if he made the cut. I think he did. And whether Tiger made the cut or not at his own event, how many events Tiger's playing, and blah, 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 blah. These are talking points. Everyone's going to forget about the tampon and move on. And Papa Golf Alpha and Tiger Woods himself, who's been played in what, 2 PGA events in the last 3 seasons.
Yeah, it was something like 9 rounds of golf in 3 years, something like that. It was crazy.
You stay relevant, whether you're the best, one of the best players in the world, or you're making headlines. And headlines come good and bad. And the only reason why we're talking about Tiger Woods on the show is because calculated Tiger put a tampon in JT's hand and knew that there'd be some backlash. And shame on the women of golf who haven't had anywhere near the backlash they had when he, did his thing with his wife and everybody else at the Waffle House.
Waffle House Wendy.
I mean, that's true, right? I'm not saying anything that's not true.
Yeah.
All right.
And the
Brooks.
Hooters girls. Can't forget
Let's get back to full swing. Brooks missing those 3-foot putts and telling himself he fucking sucks is every time I'm standing on the practice screen.
Been there more times than I can count.
It's unbelievable. It's like
No, it's a very humanizing moment.
Yeah, it makes him human, exactly.
For these guys.
Go on social media and get the feeling of what the people felt there. They think he's a douchebag because he's ignoring his wife or fiance or whatever, sitting there like thinking about his golf game. My man was like the best player in the world
from 2017 to 2019. Nobody could touch him,
and then lost it.
He was lights out.
Yeah, what do you think he's thinking about?
4 majors,
or how about this? I mean, on top of all of that, that's how he pays for that really nice place and all of her clothes. Yeah. Do you think
he knew golf before he knew his
is anybody
now wife?
Fucking paying attention? Does anybody think that she fucking works?
Jenna Sims? I don't know. That's her name.
She doesn't look like she fucking works.
I mean,
I met her. Really nice.
Oh, she seemed
like a nice lady. That's not. I'm not attacking her character. I'm just saying
right.
She probably doesn't work. That's how he makes his money. He ignores it. Like he's got to focus on the game because that's how he pays the bills. Now,
you can't be a professional athlete and only think about your sport 30% of the time. It's 97% of the time.
Tony Finau talked about that a lot in his episode where he had to, he noticed he was distracted. He was allowing things to distract him, and that's why he wasn't getting in the finishes. And now he found a way to balance having his family there and focusing.
But I don't think it's I think it's ruining his game. I do, having it there, having his family there.
I'm sure. Listen, cost.
You know how hard that has to be, and he's got like 26 kids. Nothing, bro. I'm not trying to sound, but like he's got a lot of
economy,
kids.
Even last year's economy, paying to fly 8 people and hotels and cars and all that fucking shit. That's a lot of money on top of he's got to do everything else.
He wouldn't have to
as a golfer,
he wouldn't have to make the cut though to get paid if he played on the other tour. And just
True.
on our
Wouldn't you be
tour.
thinking though about your family? Like, oh my where's my kids? All the like, maybe not, but I mean that's a
Well,
lot.
I mean,
That's a
he
lot.
thinks about his family when he's not there and stuff like that. But like, yeah, it's a distraction either
Yeah.
way. I
All right,
mean,
so then
like,
let's get to the meat of this.
look at that fucking that fucking weirdo, the really young kid with the fucking metal mouth. What was his name? He had one of
Matt
the-
Fitzpatrick.
Matt Fitzpatrick. Look at that fucking guy. That mutant. Fucking. He does nothing else. He does nothing else. He doesn't drink. He's like a fucking Mormon for golf. Like, he doesn't drink. He doesn't party. He just like, it's golf and that's it. And this is my life. I
mean, he
date.
grew up in PGA's like hand, right? Like he's
Right.
like staying at the PGA commissioner's fucking house.
Yeah,
And he's
sure.
like buddy with Rory when he goes to these tournaments. So
Yeah, he probably sucks him off. But like, he's focused on that. He doesn't involve any. He probably will never have a family. He'll probably, unless he takes a step back from golf to do that. But like, that's where, and you know what? I'm sure Koepka and Tony Finau look at him and be like, wow, I could be like that. But I don't want to be like that. And it's a balance.
I mean,
So it's got to be any professional athlete. I can only imagine the balance is probably the hardest thing.
Yeah.
Work-life balance is near impossible to make everybody happy. You know.
Yeah.
I think it's super interesting that how people view this program. It was supposed to be like the F1 show, entertaining, which I didn't watch, but the F1 show was like super entertaining, fast cars, loud noises, bunch of guys talking shit, and get people's attention. And somebody watches the sport. People didn't even know this sport existed before their Netflix show, right? I think golf tried to take this like, we're gonna get people, we're gonna make golf look. I don't know what they were trying to make golf look like, because to me, these are just a bunch of dudes. It's like
They tried to make it look. They tried to make it look dramatic.
Yeah, I mean, and there is always drama on the course.
Real Housewives of Papa Golf Alpha.
But like, you could just watch the events. Like, you can watch the events and know that like Fitzpatrick put that ball in the bunker and hit a great shot. Like, you can just just watch golf and that there's drama.
Yeah, but there's other stuff. It gives a view into some of the players' lives and the interpersonal relationship. Listen, the first episode, the first episode was great. The dichotomy between Justin Thomas and Jordan Spieth, I like that. That they were friends and they came up and they're very competitive with each other, and they take a team aspect to practicing. They travel together to go play the courses prior to the events.
Yeah, I mean, the practice rounds are definitely all about your friends. I got to walk a practice round at the Ocean Course when PGA had their championship there, and definitely you definitely see a different side of, you definitely see their personality more in those things. But even so, like, there's nothing that earth-shattering about watching like 100,000 and millionaires in their homes and with their buddies on the golf course. Like, I'm not at all hooked by the show. I'm watching it because I like golf.
That's a very fair point, but also, like, for some of us, like, I don't give a shit about 25 people, locking themselves in a building and spending 8 hours a day talking through a fucking wall to other people, trying to find somebody to love. And then they see each other for the first time, and then they try and make a life out of it and completely fuck up their lives and their families and their friends and everything like that. I don't give a shit. But other people do. So this is an opportunity for people that do like golf to give a little background and hopefully entice more people to watch and pay attention to Papa Golf Alpha.
Well, I'm going to say from the first episode, the only thing that they may have possibly been able to pull out of that is like, oh, Jordan Spieth and Justin Thomas are good-looking guys. I can watch this with my wife because they can check them out while
they definitely share a bit on them.
They're good-looking guys until those guys take their shirts off, and you're like, ugh. And watching them,
what I expected.
Kept going, showing them in the gym.
Why does Jordan Spieth have 3 nipples?
Like fucking 4. There's 4 or 5 episodes of just like these PGA professionals struggling in the gym, and I'm like, oh man. Wow.
I know
Yeah,
it did not paint them as the greatest athletes on the planet. I mean, that's pretty rough. I think they would all, to a man, say that like we looked pretty bad in the gym.
Do we agree that Brooks needs to change his hair up?
Oof.
Man,
That's kind of rough.
I saw that.
I had the highlights back in seventh grade. I don't know, man.
48 or 28?
I don't know about that, dude. 32, and he's got highlights. It's kind of rough.
Terrible. But you see that part where he's hanging out in that little lounge area with that outdoor fireplace, and his wife comes out in a bikini and lays across him.
Yes,
bro. If she likes it, like, who cares what the rest of the world?
Oh, agreed.
Like
Paulina.
He wouldn't. No, that's
Dustin. Yes.
Yes. Dustin Johnson. Yeah,
Jenna,
I mean,
yes.
her. Paulina Gretzky, the great one.
Enough said on that. Checking out people's wives. I mean, and they're checking out your wives are checking out people's husbands. We get it. Like, that's part of culture, I guess. But it's not golf. I don't know. As a golf person, when you watch them hit a shot and you don't see where the fucking ball goes, and all the shots look the same. It's an angle that you don't watch when you're watching golf. You're looking at a guy hitting a golf ball. Show me where it went. You know what I mean? Like, they don't have those angles. We have the shot tracer. Where is that in this series? It's nowhere. Like, show me where the ball goes.
It was not this game. The movie, the TV show was not so much about the events,
about their golf game rather than what they've
story
achieved.
Of the season. That's why they didn't go like, I mean, some of the shows went pretty much, it only showed like 4 or 5 of the holes per day, maybe, and pretty much only showed when they really fucked up,
I don't know. I was excited to see like maybe some more talk. I mean, I know they did a little bit of the caddy thing with Joel Damon, and that was kind of cool.
Joel Damon needs to go to live. He is perfect live material.
Oh,
hates
absolutely.
himself, hates golf. He says, I suck. I can't do this game. I'm not as good as these guys. I know every day I'm going to show up and not win a major. Like, come over to live. Your game is there. He just needs to get out of his own head, like we've talked about in previous episodes.
Honestly, I felt bad for his caddy that like he was not making the cut and stuff like that. I'm like, yeah, his caddy
makes less than all of us a year.
Is like struggling, to help him, and like it's like, for me, if that was me, I'd be like, it's not just about me. It's definitely not just about me. It's not about just me and my family, because one of my and that guy's clearly his best friend.
Friend.
My best friend and his family are relying on me. Like, if either of you, were like you and your families relied on me and everything I did at my job, I would take it so fucking seriously, so much more serious than I even do right now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So.
Yeah. And one guy that we definitely need to talk about that we haven't talked about yet, Dustin Johnson, probably borderline the biggest star that they have, that we have on the LIV Tour. One of the most successful golfers over the last 15 years, for sure. But one of the things he said that drew the ire of people, which makes zero sense. So for a year, all we've heard is all they are is after the money. They're just after the money. These LIV players are greedy. They don't care about anything else but the money. So they asked Dustin Johnson, Dustin, why'd you go to LIV? And he goes, hey, if somebody offered you more money to do the same job, you'd take it.
Yeah.
I mean, how real of an answer is that? That is the most real answer anyone could possibly give. Like you said, all they feature on this thing about LIV is like a bunch of dudes stammering over answers about, genocide and the murders of reporters and things like that. And then Dustin comes out and says, hey, man, I'm making more money doing the same exact thing. Yeah.
It's not even the same exact thing. Actually
it's
plays
less work. That's what I think
less.
It was, Aaron. It was a little bit more to that. If I could do the same job but less work or something in that regard for more money, would you not do it? I mean, who wouldn't?
Every single person that you've ever met in their life, one, thinks they're worth more money than they're getting paid currently, right? Everyone thinks they deserve a raise. And 2,
Mhm.
every single person would love to make more money and do less work. Every
Right.
person.
That's what
There's
it
no
was.
one.
Right.
No one else. No, there's no other opinion on this matter that makes any
Right.
sense. And yet somehow DJ's a bad dude because he came out and was real and said, yeah, you know what? They made me an offer and it was better than sitting here trying to make the cut to make some money.
Don't
So,
you feel guys like Brooks and DJ and Cam Smith are exactly that? I mean, we don't know them, but to me, they seem like the most honest, I don't care type guys. They're just gonna say whatever, and if nobody likes it, then sorry. So I think that's awesome. Like Brooks, a week before he goes over to live, like it was also in the documentary, but I knew this prior. I actually watched it live when he was like at the US Open and they're like, are you going to go to live? He's like, why are you guys putting a dark cloud over this tournament? Like we're at the US Open and you're talking about something that happened last week, the first tournament of live, all knowing that he was going to go. It just makes it's just, he doesn't care. He doesn't care what they're going to say next, you know?
yeah, I just think that portraying Dustin Johnson as a bad dude for taking more money to do less work
Right.
is again just another example of a media group, golf media, who's not been held, accountable for the way that they've portrayed live poorly as a golf tour. It's criminal. It's criminal the way that they portray these guys as just as bad as people who commit genocide or don't give females rights in their
Kill women and
homeland.
children.
Yeah, I
etc.
mean, come on now. This is golf. We said this was the first thing I ever said on this show was this is golf, and you said it too, Jay. It's like enjoy the golf. Can we just enjoy the fucking golf, please? Let's just enjoy the golf. Liv's getting better. Thomas Peters coming over. World number 34. What an awesome tweet. Hey, I would have loved to play in this event, but somehow world number 34 isn't good enough to get invited to Tiger's event, and then signs would live.
Really? I didn't hear that.
Oh yeah. He
That's
he
awesome.
put out a little tweet. He's like, I'm number 34 in the world. Guess that's not good enough to play in your tournament. So, and off he went.
Wow.
Excited to see. He'll probably play with Phil, right? You imagine they haven't announced. There's 4 teams they haven't announced yet. You gotta think that he partners up with somebody like Phil to kind of take this, kind of take the lead. He's not going to be a lead guy on any team, even though he's probably going to be the best player on the team, or
Right.
one of the best players on the team. And so he probably, I can foresee him joining Phil in the high flyers for sure. But a whole bunch of other teams did finally get announced, and some new players coming over with Peters. I guess Danny Lee is coming over for like on a short-term deal, which would be cool. No like Ricky Fowler or any of these big signings that people were hoping would happen yet. I guess. Yeah. Well, by the time
think about last year, it was a lot of after 1, 2, 3 tournaments, people were still coming over. So like Cam came over real late. So I'm sure. I don't know how that works actually. Do you know the answer to that? Can it happen at any time?
Yeah.
Somebody come over to live and just
all right.
Join
So
in?
we do have to pick. We have to be fair, right? We have to pick apart live when they deserve to be picked apart. They have these franchises, players, but we have no idea how. Like when these guys come over, who pays them? Does the league pay them, or does their franchise pay them? Like outside the winnings that they get at the tournament, right? Because they all have some kind of agreement with their franchise, right? I would imagine. So how does that happen? It's not public knowledge. How do like you said, how can they change rosters in the middle of the season? They did it last year kind of because they were piecing together teams at the beginning of the year, and then guys kind of got whatever you want to call it, traded or moved across teams. There's no real clear. I wish they would just come out and be more clear, because the target is obviously on their back. So when they screw things up like that, it just brings, again, negative attention is fine. But if you want to be considered a serious league with franchises and rules and all this stuff, like tell us what they are. We know how trades happen in other sports. We know free agency periods. Not necessarily saying we need to have contract details, but like just kind of let us know, like, hey, this guy is property of this team until this date.
Right.
That'd be good enough for me. That'd be good enough for most people.
Yeah, just a little clarification.
Yeah. Let me just go through my team. Of course, headed off by Sergio Garcia and his buddy Red Hot Abraham Answer already got a win this year. Eugenio Chikara and Carlos Ortiz. More to come on them when we give you our preview show at Mayakoba, El Camaleon, where they are going to dominate for sure. Let's go Fireballs. Vamos. Anybody else got anything on the rosters here? Jerome?
No.
What, you just
Ironheads.
want us to go over the rosters?
I mean, anybody on the any team that you saw that, piqued your interest? The goats, of course. I'll be a closet goat.
Closet goat, range goat,
Yeah, I mean, Bubba's all over social, doing his thing.
which I love.
I'll tell you what.
Bubba's easy to root for, I feel like.
I will be paying attention to the Majestics. I absolutely fell in love with Ian Poulter from Full Swing. I like his personality. I like his fashion sense of like, I don't give a fuck. And if it distracts people, great. It's not distracting me. I'm just playing golf. So I respect the shit out of him. And so I'll be paying attention to the Majestics, but I'm still a Crushers fan first and foremost.
Yeah, and the biggest change in roster would be Matthew Wolf going to Smash with
with the
Kepkas. Yeah, with the
Mhm.
Kepkas and Jason Kokrak. So they are certainly going to be living up to their team nickname because Matty bombs the ball. Obviously, we know the Kepkas can hit the shit out of the ball. So even Jason Kokrak is actually pretty decent bomber. So that's going to be a fun team to watch for sure. For sure. Can't wait to see the last three teams. I mean, while you guys are listening to this, I've already heard. Hopefully, there's some crazy ass signing, like Max said. Maybe, there's somebody that they're holding off for on Monday. I would have, if they knew about somebody who was going to sign on Monday, I would love for them to have done it in the middle of this tournament and take the spotlight away. God, I was rooting for that so hard, but whatever, we'll take it. Season getting started. That's exciting. Golf of the week. Am I again the only person who played outdoors? I don't know what the weather was like.
Yes.
Yeah, dude, we can't play
cold
outdoors
now.
yet. No, I played twice this week. I played on Tuesday and I played around with Austin this afternoon.
How'd you shoot?
92 on Tuesday and 97 today.
So
You've got
plenty
of comments to help you.
I was
with your
gonna
swing
say,
there
yeah,
on TikTok.
you've got all the TikTok people
Yeah.
buzzing about your swing. Have you tried to narrow your stance anymore and see if you can actually hit a golf ball with your feet closer together than they were?
When I use my wedges, I have my feet closer together. Yeah.
I've got more views and
Depending
not
on-
one comment. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing.
I
but-
cannot wait to put up my shitty short
Everybody,
swing.
listen, this is the internet. Everybody likes a fat guy making fun of himself. So, I mean, there it is.
Yeah. I honestly, I don't think I've ever watched you hit a golf ball from that angle.
No, neither have I.
And if I did, I probably would have taken your clubs away.
It looks like you're just like wound up, and then it's like a rubber band, and then you just let it go. It's like
that's
super
great,
quick.
right? Yeah, it's great to like
super quick.
get your body going towards the target, but once you get to the target, stop. Don't keep going. You want to
Mhm.
turn around. It's 330-degree rotation. It's like you're in like the slam dunk contest. Like you're the white dude did like a 720 or whatever last night in the slam dunk contest. I did play golf, and I tried to
Lucky
use
you.
I tried to use one golf ball. I went out and I
That's
bought.
easy.
Yeah, no, and not just one golf ball. I mean, like one brand, right? I took all the other balls out of my bag. I put a dozen of the cut gray because Nick is on every one of these fucking episodes.
Yeah.
So why not just talk about Nick now? Because Nick played them, and I
hit one. They weren't terrible.
it was fine.
Not my cup of tea, but
Yeah, it was fine. It actually very weirdly when you touch the ball, it's like sticky. I know it's not sticky, but like the face was sticky.
Mhm.
And I will say there was more spin than I would have liked, I guess, or more spin than I'm used to. So a lot, took me like 6 or 7 holes coming in until I could figure out that, like, all right, maybe I need to try to hit the ball beyond the pin as a low spin player, right? Or at least pin high. I typically want to know the yardage to the front of the green because that's where I want my ball to land.
Mhm.
So trying to change up your game based on the ball, I'm probably not going to play them again. Probably not. But I mean, it was nice to use a consistent ball throughout the round and not just when the ball was scuffed or whatever, grab the next ball out of the bag and it wasn't the same ball, like you said, like we talked about last week.
Definitely. Yeah.
It was nice.
Consistency is good.
91. It wasn't a great round. Again, just it was really wet. It's been wet here a lot lately. We can play, but you can't complain about it. It's just stand in a fairway.
Playing.
Yeah,
You're playing outside.
You're playing, but stand in a fairway and you know that you're going to get splashed in the face.
Yeah, a little soupy.
Yeah, it's frustrating. It's frustrating because you really
a full swing could go 20 yards.
Yeah, you just never know what's going to happen if you miss the if you don't hit the ball clean.
Just slightly, yeah.
Yeah, just slightly off. You have no idea what's going to happen to the ball. So putted pretty well. I feel like I've been putting really well of late, so we'll stick with it. On to the next ball. If you want to advertise with us, Aaron at gimmethattake.com. Send me an email, get your advertisement, and we'll get your golf balls in all of our bags. So we don't care what they are. I mean,
very true.
Excellent.
Yeah. So speaking of, Jerome, do your thing. Subscribe.
All right, guys. Hey, if you're thinking about doing it, do it. It's just once or twice a week. Click like, follow us on YouTube, hit subscribe, hit the little bell. That'll
Drop a
give
comment.
you a notification. Hit the bell, give you a notification when we post, and then you can just listen. Tell
us how good we are or how shitty we are. Just write a comment. Yeah, get in those comments.
Hey, you guys talk too much about this, that, or the other thing.
Comment Jerome swings.
That video really got some legs last night. It was really fun. We're replying to everybody. I really actually enjoyed that while I was watching the dunk contest. Yeah, it was really fun.
I apologize. I didn't have Austin film some more of my crappy swings so you guys can pick it apart some more
next time.
Yeah, next time.
Well, I would
go through the comments. You might be able to have a
no. I
beautiful swing by next week.
I read the comments. I changed my how I addressed the ball, had my legs a little bit further apart when I was using my irons. I was able to figure some stuff out with my driver finally. So I'm excited for the season to start.
Sweet. We need to have more videos. We need to see your progress. This is going to be something that people
that'll be an all year thing for sure.
Listen, as crazy as it sounds, I don't have an ego about it. I really don't care if people want to make jokes and stuff like that. It really doesn't matter.
It's good. Listen. No,
I'm
hashtag Jerome swing. We're gonna get it going. It's gonna be a year-long process of getting better, getting the swing right, and we'll watch.
I'm gonna be playing a lot longer than a year, bud.
No, I'm saying by the end of the year, we'll see where you're at.
Hell yeah!
Awesome.
Get me ready. Get me ready for the Mutz tournament in
heck yeah,
in September.
Yep,
definitely. All right,
Mac _GTT.
Oh yeah, follow Mac. Follow us everywhere: Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok. Yeah, just follow us. That's it. Let's get the fuck out of here.